Hi, Carl Ford with Bob Wallace and Eric Linask talking about Video World happening October 3 to 5 in Austin, Texas, where the music's hot and probably dry, given what we've been experiencing there. Anyway, independent of that conversation, we're going to talk about Video World right now in the video surveillance side of the equation. So, Bob, I'm excited about what's going on with video surveillance. My cable operator keeps telling me about it. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mine is too. It's basically an area that's flourishing and taking off because it gives service providers an additional service to sell, essentially a new service for them that goes beyond their traditional voice data and video packages. With home surveillance and home control, home monitoring, all of which is going to be covered in one large session first thing Friday morning, we're going to be telling you where the opportunities are, what the components of the packages are, and have a service provider present to explain the most important thing. How do you deploy it in a way that's going to generate new and additional revenues for you going forward?
Yeah, and I know we're also going to have Craig Steen talking later in the day about a very similar aspect from a different set of service providers, so that's good. But the other side of the equation, I got to say, Alan and Matt here are video experts, have done a great job of setting us up, but there's a lot of equipment here. Talk to me about the return on video. I mean, is this a costly business these days, or is it actually just an app? Where are we at?
It's actually probably somewhere in between. The strength of the show here, beyond the breadth and the relative depth, is it's not just a technology show. It's equal elements, business, and technology, which you really need. Because the technology is the enabler that lets you do things with video. But if you don't have some way of monetizing it, you can't come up with a revenue model, whether it's pay-per-view, subscription, straight-out sale, syndication. It's really not going to work. So what we have on Thursday in particular is we're looking at the revenue models in one session. In another session, another two sessions, we're looking at the applications that you can create via a company like Brightcove or one of the CDNs like Limelight Networks that actually are the substance off which the monetization and the revenue derivation comes from.
Cool. So the thing that next is of interest to me is I want to kind of get a general layout of the overall show, because we're kind of talking all three segments about the whole thing. Eric, kind of walk me through. We've got some breadth and some depth here. Talk about our whole logic of the show.
Well, right, as both you and Bob have talked about, we're hitting on a number of topics for service providers, how video is impacting the enterprise space, how it plays out in the consumer markets, and to me, that's one of the things that really differentiates Video World Expo from some of the other great video-related events out there, is the way we're looking at video from a conferencing or communications perspective, to the business models, to the content delivery, to the mobile environment, everything as a whole, looking at that entire ecosystem as it plays out from the end user all the way back through the network.
Cool. Go ahead.
Because basically everything affects everything else in the video industry. It's nice to look at things in a focused way, but you don't want to have tunnel vision or blinders on in this space. So things are adjacent for a reason. It's because they're affecting each other, and no place we see this more in the business of technology is in the video industry and in the video world.
Yeah, it's funny you guys bring that up, because one of the things that I've noticed is and my wife is actually posting videos now with great abandon, much to my chagrin. We've got pictures of us watching the fireworks on the 4th of July. We've got all sorts of other things going on. And it's all because the cameras are so cheap, the mobile video now. We've got, places where we can post all this stuff. And, I'm looking forward to getting a good perspective on this. So I thank you guys for building this content. I'm looking forward to seeing the show.
Sounds great. Give us 3 days in Austin and we'll give you the whole video world.
Great. We'll see you guys in Austin.